Ashley Caprice with MadameNoire. So have you two kept in touch over the past 14 years?
We're lovers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Been lovers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a little thing on the side. And this is the first time.
And his wife is lovely.
Yeah, she's great.
The
They have a little
children.
thing on the side.
It's all okay. Yeah, it's all okay. No, we don't get to keep in touch. We didn't like we wanted to. You know,
Right.
this one works all the time. And so, you know, when you're working, it's hard. But I think the same, every time we would see each other, that same feeling of like, oh, I miss you. It just, it was always there.
We ran into each other after my second daughter was born, and I told her, she goes, she looks like me.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, she does.
Uh-oh.
If I hadn't been there for the birds. So yeah, all the feelings are always
All
been,
the feelings,
Right. Who is your favorite best man, though? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, no, he's definitely my, I mean, for many reasons, he truly actually is my favorite.
Okay.
If he weren't sitting here, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I'd say the same thing too. Not that I'm her. Anyway, now it's getting weird.
So Taye Diggs and Morris Chestnut have
Right.
talked about accepting the acceptance issues of them being darker skinned men, you know, chocolate brothers in Hollywood. Have you dealt with that at all?
I'm not a chocolate brother. Am I?
I never thought
I never thought that. No. Yeah. Listen, there are issues with many things in Hollywood. You could be tall or short or dark or female or young female or older female. There are always issues. Everybody's got some issues, and there's always somebody who thinks that entertainment should look like this. So, yeah, really early on, I accepted that sort of, you know, this is the issue that I have to deal with, and what I have to keep doing is bringing my best self each time, you know, even when I don't really feel like it. And that's what I keep trying to do that, and then I get lucky sometimes, or I get to
wise,
hang out with her.
joyful man.
See, I
heard wisdom, and then I just heard peace and life.
I wish I could die.
Your character, he married a stripper. Do you think in reality it is possible to turn, say, a hoe into a housewife?
Absolutely. If you want to call them a hoe and housewife, but I've met many women who, listen, I'm an artist. I feel like in the sense of like I really love artistic people, and there are people who dance, and I think like when you see Julian and Candy meet, and they talk, they meet and understand each other on a level that has nothing to do with the job she does. You know what I mean? That she's really an intellectual, and so is he. And then I think you meet somebody that you respond to, whatever they do. She dances. I'm a pimp. Well, maybe if I'm a pimp, that's a little difficult. But
You're a nice pimp.
if I'm not, you find someone that you can connect to. Absolutely, I think it's absolutely possible.
Okay. What about you? Do you think it's possible?
I do, because I don't know that sometimes a profession it necessarily indicates who you are as a being.
Right.
And I think, you know, she wasn't a stripper an exotic dancer on the inside. She was, like he said, an intellectual on the inside, and they had the same outlook on life. And they actually, ironically, have the same moral values and the same moral code that they live life through. And I think that's why they make such a good pair. But sometimes life kind of, you know, forces you into doing things, and I think she wanted to pay her way through college, and she could, and that's how she did it.
She had all of it.
Yeah. And years later, in hindsight, she may have made a different choice, but at that time, that was the choice that made, you know, the most sense, and that for what she needed at that point in her life.
Yeah. Absolutely. How would you compare this cast with Think Like a Man 2?
This cast is special because this is my very first movie. So The Best Man was my first movie, so I can't even describe how much I learned from working with this cast. So and then, you know, being friends with everyone. So when you get to go away in a setting that's far away with the original people that started off your entire career, I mean, that is always going to sit in a place that's like so special and genuine to your heart. So this for me was a holiday movie just because of what we shot, and Think Like a Man 2 is amazing, but these characters, to revisit them 15 years later, it's a totally different kind of feeling to start off a movie and feel like a girl, and then to look back and complete it and you feel like a woman, and to have that on paper and have an audience experience that, who themselves are going to be 15 years older.
Absolutely. And last question, if your character could get with someone else in the movie, another character?
Not an option.
No. There is
You wouldn't get with anyone else?
There is no.
There's
There's
no
no
one
place.
else.
And you're not saying this just because you're sitting next
No.
Nope.
No.
Just because it just seems like it's too much pressure. I would say that for me, like, to me it's frustrating when I put out a record and I guess like the labels and